Ryosuke Takahashi was a master of the Touge. He had the equivalent achievements of a 7-time world champion like Lewis Hamilton or Michael Schumacher in Formula 1. In fact, he had never lost a race on the mountain in his life. That's even better than the 7-time champions. He had tried other official racing series, but it was all of no interest to him. It was an accountant's paradise. It just made him bored. Ryosuke's passion was on the street. After he saw Takumi Fujiwara thrash his brother twice, he took interest in that 8.6 Takumi was driving. He knew it was a lethal machine, either the car or the driver. Takumi's technique was to enter a corner intentionally too fast. Sliding at a very big angle in his lightweight 8.6, the sliding friction of the tires would decelerate the car rapidly while rotating. His center of rotation was unbalanced. It was an over-rotation, but this over-rotation made him decelerate more because of the friction. Ryosuke Takahashi's technique was to enter a corner a little slower. With a very short quick turning and lift-off trail brake, he'd swing his FCRX7 into a slide with a centrifugal inertial current, basically creating a spinning force with the swing of the wheel. This lowered the lateral G-force pressing on the tires, and this also activated his rear wheel steering system. His inner rear wheel with a little inside toe would pivot the car. The outside rear wheel at a bigger angle with more grip due to lateral load. It would be geometrically aligned rather toward the same direction the front is, and on an early rotation aggressive V-line. As the inner rear wheel is pivoting the car, the outside rear wheel is shortening the turning circle until Ryosuke countersteers to stabilize the car and floors it to exit like a bazooka. Ryosuke knew Takumi's weakness. His exits were weak. That's it. Takumi was messy, carrying a bucket load of countersteer. He couldn't put down any power. Yes, he didn't have much power to put down. He was at least about 20 kilometers off. But then in the race, Ryosuke saw that Takumi's weakness was gone. Just like that, in the short moments of only a few races, Takumi had figured the way to drive faster, using less rotational slip angle with less countersteer on exit. He was flooring it earlier and harder. Near zero countersteer on exit, he was facing the apex and flooring it. Pointed right and floor it, hello. So it wasn't just a blindingly fast entry. He was fast on exit too. Now Ryosuke, instead of being too proud, saying this is bullshit, this is impossible, with the perfect mind to see where Takumi was faster, Ryosuke decided to humbly copy his technique, using his pride to fuel his fighting spirit, using it in the right way to exploit him. But this technique did not fit the Mazda RX-7 FC3S Savannah he was driving. Ryosuke in awe was infatuated by Takumi's driving. So in his mind, whatever he does, he's gonna copy his driving and see what's going on, see how he can drive in this fast rhythm. And as Ryosuke was using the same braking drift in the same way Takumi was, dragging out the trail brake for that long in order to maintain the same angle, Ryosuke was digging a grave for his tires. He was putting a heavy pressure on his front tires because the rear wheel steering was counteracting the long linear trail brake, making Ryosuke force it. He was forcing the technique on his RX-7, fighting his car. He could feel that the technique was not suiting his car, so he was adapting and trying to maintain the geometry right for his RX-7 while copying Takumi. Ryosuke is not stupid. His head was methodically collecting data like a machine, but he thought he'd be fine because he was confident in his speed once he overtakes Takumi. What was on his mind was that his fastest racer theory was compromised. It clearly wasn't perfect because Takumi over here was pulling off a demonstration of mechanical gymnastics. Ryosuke was putting a heavy pressure on his tires to deliver exactly what he wants, and Ryosuke was putting an immense pressure on Takumi till he made a mistake, overshooting the corner, opening the door. Ryosuke had to make the move. He clearly said he wasn't planning on making the move for the lead so early because he didn't want Takumi to see his technique, because he knew Takumi's sinking instinct. He can learn Ryosuke's technique and exploit it. So Ryosuke went on to grow a gap. Takumi, out of panic, instinctively switched to instinctive driving of the highest level, which made him so much faster on the downhill. He caught Ryosuke on worn tires. Ryosuke's fronts were losing grip. The wrong cornering geometry Ryosuke had induced on his FC was taking a toll on the tires now. Takumi chasing down Ryosuke at full tilt. This is where we saw the first few hints of Fujiwara zone on the initial lead. Ryosuke defending the inside for the coming S-curves. Takumi makes the move around the outside. Ryosuke is going wide understeering. Takumi makes the switchback, taking the lead. Ryosuke, utterly stunned, lifted off the throttle. He was cold. So amazed at Takumi's driving it nearly made him sick. The problem is that Ryosuke simulated something that cannot be measured. The instinct of an enfant terrible. The geometric king had just been assassinated off Akina Touge. Yeah, I know he did lift off, he could have fought on. But this is not about who gets to the finish line first. Ryosuke switched to the wrong geometry for his FC, and when it mattered, he couldn't control his worn tires. And in front of his eyes, he is shown how to drive in one of the most immaculate overtakes. You couldn't fit a paper between their cars. Takumi had pushed Ryosuke to his limit on that night. That is why Ryosuke lifted off the throttle accepting defeat, because Takumi's tires were fine, even though he exercised a bigger rotational angle. They beat the course record by over 12 seconds.
Not one person said a word. Neither those despondent at Ryosuke Takahashi's defeat, nor any joyful cheers raised at Takumi's victory. Everyone there stood still, not moving a muscle. The one undeniable truth was that a downhill course record had been set in Akina that would never be broken. The curtain had fallen on a miraculous battle. And something had begun.
There's something that I've been wanting to ask you about. Please give me an honest answer. Tell me, why did you slow down and wait for me to catch up?
Well, that's a grave misunderstanding you have there. You picked up your pace all by yourself.
Huh?
It's true my front tires were giving me a little bit of trouble, and I slowed down to a degree to try to hold you back. I won't make any excuses. The conditions were the same for you, and yet you never lost any performance from your tires. This was my loss. To have been able to learn such techniques at such a young age, I am genuinely impressed with you, kid.
Everyone overestimates me. I just got used to it. Driving on Mount Akina, I mean. Lots of practice. I honestly don't have any special technique at all. I absolutely don't think that I was that much faster than you.
Did you honestly just stop me to tell me that nonsense? I've seen all kinds of racers, my friend, but I've never seen anyone like you. You're a good guy. I like you. I really do. So it's Takumi Fujiwara, right? Don't be satisfied with a small stage. Turn your eyes to a larger world.
A larger world?
We'll meet again.
A larger world, huh? I see. So that's what was making me feel so nervous. I learned to drive in Akina and grew up in Akina. All I know is Mount Akina. What other great mountains lie beyond it? And what sort of people are there? And what kind of cars do they drive? I wonder.